All right, y'all. Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to a brand new Talking and live stream. I'm sorry I've been away for a little bit. I just came back from a vacation in Las Vegas over the weekend. I want to thank all my loyal subscribers for supporting me. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Make sure it's not your last. Subscribe to the channel. When you do, click the notification bell. Make sure you hit all so you don't miss any new videos or upcoming live streams from me. Now, we all know by now that Bryant, you know, future Hall of Famer, five-time NBA champion, multiple All-Star, two times Finals MVP. Also, his daughter and seven other people perished in a helicopter crash early Sunday afternoon. Well, excuse me, early Sunday morning. Well, no, late Sunday morning, excuse me, or early Sunday afternoon in California. You know, I was still in Las Vegas getting ready to go out when my brother called me with the news because it was his birthday Sunday, telling me what happened. At first, I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was a hoax because, as you all know, we've had a lot of celebrity death hoaxes over the years. So I didn't believe it until I turned on to ESPN and saw it on Sports Center. I was like, wow. It's just, man, that was just shocking, man. That's right up there, being shocked about Tupac and Biggie passing, as well as, Easy E and Big Pun. So, I decided to come on here tonight, do this live stream tribute to Kobe. Man, the reason why I didn't do a video right away because I was just too shocked and just too shocked, over the news. I couldn't get my head around it. I couldn't get my head around it at all. So, tonight I'm here doing this live stream as a tribute to Kobe, talking about his impact on basketball, also his impact off the court as well. And also how some people have just, used this opportunity to throw shade at him now that he. So, if you're joining me here, make sure you hit the like button. Just you can put all your comments in the chat about, you know, what did you like about Kobe's game Kobe's game. Do you have a favorite Kobe moment? Whether it be him scoring 81 points, against the Toronto Raptors, or having 60 points against the Utah Jazz in his final game in 2016, or any moments in the NBA Finals, whether it be the three he won with Shaq or the two that he won by himself in 2009, 2010, respectively. So just come on in here, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Like I said before, as you come into this live stream, make sure you hit the like button. And also, I'm about to share on social media that I'm live right now with this tribute. Right. Intelligent Psycho, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Said I was in tears and in shock when I heard this tragic death. Yeah, man, I was in shock too. Like I said, since you just coming in, man, I was in Las Vegas when I heard the news. My brother called. I still cannot wrap my head around it. Just unbelievable. Not only, his wife Vanessa, not only she loses her husband, but she loses a child. Also, Kobe's parents, they lose, not only they lose their son, they lose a grandchild. Well, not just, and also, Vanessa's parents as well. They lose a son-in-law and a grandchild. Yeah, just sharing on social media with every K Intelligent Psycho also said Kobe installed fear in many of his enemies and teammates. You had to respect them even if you weren't Laker fans. Exactly, Intelligent Psycho. I agree. You know, I ain't gonna lie, when I was a little bit younger, I didn't like Kobe at first as a player. I thought he, this is me being younger. So if any Kobe fans come into this live stream, this ain't me dissing Kobe. This is about my perspective when I was younger. I thought Kobe was a straight up a-hole as a player, when I was younger. But then, you know, as I gotten older, I grew to appreciate him more, a whole lot more, and saying, he was trying, to basically go about it his way on getting, trying to lead his teammates to success. You know, when he was younger, of course he wanted to be the man. He didn't want to be in Shaq's shadow forever. But then as he got older, he matured and started to become more of a leader and be a little bit more open with his teammates. Especially, when cats like Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum got there. Tell the cycle, you said the dart is what really hit me the most. So when the crap anchor woman Allison Morris was in her racial bag of tricks, it was found disrespectful. I agree with that too. And Allison Morris, her ass needs to be fired. She should have been fired. I mean, they suspended old boy from ABC. His name slips me right now. I make sure to get that later, but they suspended him for inaccurately reporting. And also TMZ. I ain't got no love for Harvey Levin or anybody at TMZ because they were disrespectful, they were disgraceful, and very tacky to, Kobe Bryant's family and all the other victims' families because they found out on TMZ and on social media. At least TMZ could have gave those families the respect to get the news from law enforcement instead of them. That was just some, excuse my language, that was some straight bullshit by TMZ. That was. I don't care, and also I gotta give a shout out to Too Raw for TV. I saw his video last night, on the media's reaction to the Kobe, reporting the news on Kobe and his daughter's death. He said it. He said now with journalism now, it's not about getting an accurate story. It's about being first. And also Denzel said that a few years ago to a reporter when he was on the red carpet for one of his movie premieres. He said it's not about being accurate anymore. It's about being first. And Allison Morris should have been fired. And matter of fact, she even tried to hide it. She didn't even say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I had the teams confused. Nothing. She thought her arrogant way that nobody was going to notice. But guess what? The whole world noticed, woman. And another one who was being disrespectful to Kobe, when they talked about his death, Jason Whitlock, or as I like to say, Grimace Lock. That's another one I can't stand. I cannot stand that bastard. I can't. He's a disgrace to the race. Shoot. Looking like a deformed carton of Whoppers. So man, the media, they've been very tacky, when it comes to covering Kobe. Abigail Disney, the great niece of Walt Disney, she even came out being disrespectful towards Kobe. And that comedian, I forget his name right now. Somebody comes into this chat, y'all give me the name of that comedian who also talk crap about Kobe. And now everybody's on his ass because, not only he was talking a crap about, being disrespectful towards Kobe, but come on, man, you being disrespectful towards the man's daughter. She was only 13 years old. What did a 13-year-old child do to any of these people? That's another thing that ticks me off. Y'all being disrespectful towards this little girl, not only towards her father, but her. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I had to go off on a little tangent. This is the reactions I've been having, by watching other folks' videos like Too Raw for TV, Harvey of Your World, Town Biz. Shout out to all of them. Y'all, if y'all ain't checked them out yet, y'all check their videos out, subscribe to their channels. But man, that's been bottled up inside of me. Now, back to what I was saying about Kobe as a player. As I got older, Ari Shafiki, Intelligent Psycho. Thank you. That's another one. And he's such a damn coward. Everybody's been giving him a whole bunch of heat. Matter of fact, a lot of people, they had to cancel his comedy show in New York because a lot of people was threatening to kick his behind. And a lot of people went hard in the paint on him on Twitter. saying bullshit like, oh, well, Kobe died 20-some years too late. BS is that. And it don't hide behind that shot comedy shit, okay? Some people say that, oh, well, that's shot comedy. No, it's called that's how you really feel. I'm all for humor. I love to laugh. I make jokes all the time. But when you make jokes and you doing comedy and doing humor, you gotta make sure there's no what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Slipped my mind. You gotta make sure there's no nothing condescending, nothing disrespectful, nothing distasteful. I always say this when you do jokes, make sure the laughter is in the joke, because if there's no laughter in the joke, it's just straight up malice. And that's what Shafir was doing, was straight up malice on Kobe. And not only on him, but his daughter and the 7 other people who were killed in that helicopter crash. That's just straight up malice by him. But now, as far as Kobe as a player, as I got older, I started to have a little bit more respect for him as a player. And I definitely think he matured a little bit after that situation he went through. Well, in Colorado. I think that matured him. I definitely was hoping he didn't go, get caught up in court and be found guilty, because that would definitely been messed up for him and his family. Well, thank goodness, that never went to court. But I started to see him mature more as a player and a husband. So I definitely had to respect him a lot, start to respect him more and his game more. Now, as we all know, throughout most of the 2000s, the Kobe versus LeBron debate always came up. I knew some people who went with Kobe. Hey, I went with LeBron. I'm a Cavs fan. I'm from Cleveland, so I had to ride with my dude. And man, even now, man, dang, I wish we could have saw LeBron and Kobe go against each other in the NBA Finals. Even, if my Cavs didn't win against the Lakers, it would just been an exciting matchup to see. Two greats going at it. No matter what the outcome would have been. I don't think my Cavs would have beaten those Lakers. But especially that 2019. That 2019 was just too good, and the Cavs didn't have the size to match up with a Gasol or a Bynum. Okay, tell this cycle, you said I wanted to see Cavs versus the Lakers, LeBron versus Kobe. It would have drawn ratings. Oh yeah. Oh, if the Cavs and the Lakers would have made it in the finals, between 2000, say 2008 and 2011. Oh man, boy, man, that would have drew massive ratings. Matter of fact, that would have been one of the most highest rated NBA finals. That definitely would have been one of the most highest rated NBA finals. Intelligence cycle. But man, even now I still get disappointed that we did not see LeBron and Kobe go at it in the finals. Man, that would have been so fun to see. And I was definitely hoping in 2010 it would have been Cavs and Lakers. But nah, it was the damn Celtics had to ruin the party, man. and I was at that game 5 in 2010 versus the Celtics. Yep, damn KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. And Rondo too. Y'all ruined a good thing, man. But man, oh man, I would have loved to see LeBron and Kobe go at it in the NBA Finals. And I ain't gonna lie, like everybody else, I used to love watching those puppet commercials. Especially around Christmas time. Those Christmas puppet commercials with LeBron and Kobe were the best. They definitely were. But man, but I really gave props to Kobe for what he did in 2009, winning his fourth championship against the Orlando Magic. Now, as I said in my video last year about the 09 Lakers, that season and that finals was Kobe's magnum opus. That was his masterpiece, to me, because he finally proven to everybody that he could lead a team to a championship and he could win without Shaq. And also, he showed that he could give other guys, shine as well in that series. Like, I mean, come on, Pau Gasol. People forget, Pau Gasol had a nice series. Excuse me. Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher came up big with the clutch shots, especially in Game 4, to hit the 3 to tie the game, and then to hit the 3 for the Lakers to have the lead for good in overtime. Now, everybody talks about that 2010 championship, but that 2009 championship was Kobe's magnum opus. That was his masterpiece. In my opinion, I always felt that every great player in every sport has that magnum opus. That defining moment that really puts them up there. Like, for me, with Tom Brady, the magnum opus for me was that Super Bowl against Atlanta, in my opinion. Because I mean, come on, he was down. Well, he and his team were down 28-3. Now, most of the time in any football game, most of the time you ain't coming back from that, especially if they get another score or, kick the field goal. Well, kick a field goal to extend it. Pretty much it. But, Tom Brady, he was just hitting everybody, whether it's passes to Chris Hogan or giving the ball to James White, who people definitely forget about in that Super Bowl. He had a big game. It's like everybody everybody just wrote, got on the same wavelength. It seemed like the offense and the defense were just on the same wavelength in that comeback. Michael Jordan, to me, his magnum opus was 96. That was his first time, his second season back in the NBA, after going through everything with his father's murder and going through the loss against the Orlando Magic in that second round the previous year. Michael came back determined with more swag and hungrier than ever to get back on top. So 96 was, to me, Jordan's magnum opus. LeBron 2016 was definitely his magnum opus, because, all right, he went to Miami and won back-to-back NBA championships, excuse me. Now, he was leaving a team that could have potentially been a dynasty to go back to Cleveland, to Dan Gilbert, to the fans that burned his jersey. Well, certain group of fans, excuse me, that burned his jersey after he left. And he was trying to break an epic drought in the city of Cleveland, who hadn't seen a pro sports title in 52 years. And then he comes through he and the Cavs, come through in a very historic fashion by beating a team that was 73-9 and coming back from a 3-1 deficit to make history. So that was definitely LeBron's magnum opus. Magic Johnson, to me, that magnum opus was, he had already won 3 championships, with the Lakers, but his magnum opus was 1987, because that was like, you could just see in that season that was the first time that Magic was basically the man. For those first 3 championships, it seemed like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was more the man than Magic was. I mean, I know y'all may say 1980 was Magic's magnum opus. No, that was just the thing that that was just the game that put Magic Johnson on the map as a superstar, as he played center for, Kareem, who was back in LA injured. He had that monster game. But no, 87 was Magic's magnum opus. K, Intelligence Cycle, you said another guy who wastes time to promote some BS thinking product and not speaking on Kobe. Oh yeah, Floyd Mayweather. That's another one. Man. I don't know what's wrong with Floyd, man. Floyd got some issues. I think he might have some CTE, because, man, come on, how you gonna promote your stuff after a man has passed? Come on, this ain't the time for that. All right, I'm seeing people coming into the live stream. Y'all can say whatever you want on Kobe, whatever it was. What was your favorite Kobe games or favorite moments? Also, you could talk about how do you feel he impacted the NBA? Or, if you just want to pay respect and homage to Kobe, hey, leave it all here in the chat. And, baseball, and even baseball players have a magnum opus, To me, Derek Jeter's magnum opus was excuse me. Well, no, well, I'll talk about Derek Jeter another time. But you know who had a pretty good magnum opus? Josh Beckett. You know, in 2003 with the Marlins. That was his magnum opus because, man, Josh Beckett carried that Marlins team all the way to that World Series against the Yankees. You know, you know what? I'm trying. Yeah, he pitched twice in that World Series. Both games he pitched, he had monster games. And he pitched his behind off in that World Series. He definitely earned World Series MVP, rightfully so. Steven Strasburg, last year's World Series was his magnum opus, as that man had a hell of a World Series in the games he pitched. You know, and you know what? I'm surprised that Strasburg did not win the World Series MVP unanimously. Okay, I went off a tangent again, but you know, my point is that I think every great player has their masterpiece or their magnum opus, and 2009 was definitely Kobe's magnum opus. You know, even if he didn't win, you know, again in 2010, his career and legacy was straight, you know, forever, because he had finally shown the world that he can, you know, win a title without Shaq and silenced all doubters that, you know, he couldn't do it without Shaq. Okay, Intelligent Psycho, you said Vanessa Bryant had a heartfelt Instagram post for the fans showing support and love and loss of her husband and second oldest daughter. Yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of that, Intelligent Psycho, okay, let me pull it up. Well, I can't pull it up on here, but I can read it for y'all. All right, I'm seeing people coming into the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, you know, whatever thoughts you got on Kobe, leave them here in the chat. Whether, you know, whether Kobe was your favorite player, or did you have favorite moments watching Kobe? Well, your favorite Kobe moments, excuse me. You know, I'm gonna get to one of my favorite Kobe moments in a second as I pull up Vanessa Bryant's Instagram post. I'm gonna read it for y'all. If I can. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna read. Well, I'm gonna read a little something for y'all. I'm gonna read. Okay, here it is. I'm looking at Vanessa Bryant's Instagram post, and she says, and I quote, "My girls and I want to thank the millions of people who've shown support and love during this horrific time. Thank you for all the prayers. We definitely need them. We are completely devastated by the sudden loss of my adoring husband, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful, sweet Gianna, a loving, thoughtful, and wonderful daughter, and amazing sister to Natalia, Blanca, and Capri. We are also devastated for the families who lost their loved ones on Sunday, and we share in their grief intimately. There aren't enough words to describe our pain right now. I take comfort in knowing that me and Gigi both knew they were so deeply loved." That was a beautiful IG post by Vanessa Bryant that she just posted today about, her husband and her excuse me, second oldest daughter. And also, sending her condolences out to the 7 other families that were affected by the tragedy as well. All right, y'all. All right, I'm seeing everybody here in this live stream. You can leave your thoughts and comments on, about Kobe here. Whether, you have a favorite Kobe moment, or how did you feel about Kobe? Positive stuff, nothing negative. If anybody comes on this live stream saying, "Oh, he was a rapist" and stuff like that, then your comment will be automatically deleted. So I'm giving you that warning right now. If you think I'm on here gonna trash him, say he was a rapist and all that, then hey, find another live stream, because that's not happening here. This is all, this is just a live stream. This is a tribute of showing Kobe his love, showing him love and his respect, to the things he did on the court and off the court. Excuse me. Now, one of my favorite Kobe moments was the 2006 NBA playoffs when the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns went at it. And this was game. I know it was at Staples Center. It was either game. I want to say it was game 4. It was game 4. Now, it looked like Phoenix was just balling, straight up balling. Excuse me. They were straight up balling. It looks like they were just gonna go on ahead and just, really just take it to the Lakers. And I want to say, matter of fact, let me look that up to be sure. I want to say the Lakers was leading through 2-1 at that time, or it was tied at 1-1. I mean, excuse me, or okay, I want to be sure here. Okay, yeah, okay. No, okay, game 4. Okay, yeah, Lakers were leading that series 2-1. I thought the Suns were definitely gonna just take that game and go back to Phoenix, tied at 2 apiece. But man, Kobe just went into a freaking zone in that game. Now the supporting cast around him wasn't great at that time, but he just basically, refused to let his team lose. Every time they needed a big basket, Kobe gave them that big basket. He put that team on his back in that game to force overtime, and then on the inbounds pass, he hit a hell of a fadeaway J to win it for the Lakers at the buzzer in overtime, and they went on to take that 3-1 lead, even though they ended up losing that series in 7. But man, that's one of the best playoff games I've seen in a while. That was one of my favorite. That was definitely one of my favorite Kobe games. That 2006 playoff game against the Phoenix Suns when he hit that buzzer beater in OT on the inbounds pass. Okay, I'm seeing people coming into the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, as y'all see, this is a tribute to Kobe. So you can leave your comments on here on how you felt about Kobe as a player. Yep. Yeah, Intelligence Cycle. Yeah, the Lake. Yeah, I just looked it up. Intelligence Cycle. They were leading 2-1 in that game 4. You're right. Kobe definitely played like a man possessed, especially in that game 4. Like I said, he refused to let his team lose. He definitely refused to let his team lose that day. Like I said, every time they needed a big basket, Kobe made sure he delivered. He definitely made sure that he delivered that big basket. That man definitely refused to let his team lose. Excuse me. You know, but that's definitely, I definitely respected about Kobe as I got older is there was no quitting him no matter what the odds were. He was going, whether he was up 20 or down 20, he was still going to compete and fight for the most part. Excuse me. But also, I started to respect him more a little bit, respected him more as I got old. Well, as he got older, he in some ways he became more selfless and let others get involved and get shine. Like, like I mentioned earlier, that 2009 finals in game 4, Kobe basically, in overtime, excuse me. Now, in previous years on a double team, Kobe would try to take both defenders by himself and shoot the ball. But, when he saw Jameer Nelson can't come at him, he hit him with that elbow and got it out to Derek Fisher. And Derek Fisher, like he's done so many in the playoffs, hit the 3 that basically gave the Lakers the lead for good. And then, got the steal, the Lakers ended up getting the steal, and he saw Pau Gasol just, running like the Tasmanian devil down the court. He got it to him, and Gasol, basically put the exclamation point on that game, and plus the and 1 to give the Lakers that 3-1 lead. K-Intelligent Psycho, you say, I definitely agree with you on this one. There is no journalistic integrity in the media. I just hope the NBA sees in changing the logo, it would make sense. What do you think? Excuse me. But you definitely right. There's definitely no journalistic integrity in the media these days. Like I said earlier, it's not about being right or accurate. It's all about being first now. Even if they get the story wrong. And speaking of that, I forgot to mention this earlier. They were reporting that Rick Fox was killed in that helicopter crash, and that upset a lot of his family. He was getting all kind of phone calls from his family because they had thought they had lost it. His loved ones thought they had lost him in that crash. So yeah, the media definitely needs to start checking themselves on how they deliver the news and how they report the news, and make sure they report the news more accurately. Excuse me, instead of just trying to be the first one to get it out there. Now, as far as Kobe being the logo, I wouldn't mind that move. That would be an interesting move for him to be to replace Jerry West as the logo of the NBA. But do I think they would do it right now? I don't think so. Maybe down the line they may, might replace Kobe, make Kobe the new logo of the NBA. But unfortunately, I don't see it right now. Not to say that he doesn't deserve that honor. He definitely does. But for some reason, I don't think the NBA is going to change it right now. All right, I'm seeing y'all coming into this live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, you can leave your comments about Kobe here in the chat. whatever you how did you feel about him as a player? What were your favorite memories? Or if you just want to just, just give condolences, hey, you can definitely do that here in the chat. Now, we're not gonna play the BS of, well, Kobe was a rapist and all that, because if you leave those type of comments, I will definitely delete that comment immediately. So if you think this is gonna be one of these bash Kobe live streams, this ain't the live stream for you. Y'all can go on somewhere else if that's what you're looking for. You know what? Y'all gotta excuse me for a second. Let me go get some water. All right, y'all. Right. Whew. Definitely hit the spot. Definitely need that glass of water. Excuse me. But also, his relationship between him and Phil definitely got better as they ended up reuniting again in LA. Because remember, after Phil had left the Lakers for the first time, remember, he wrote some stuff about Kobe in his memoir, after he had left the Lakers the first time. Okay, tell the cycle. You said your favorite Kobe moment was him scoring 61 in MSG, okay, 81 against Toronto, and the game 4 OT. Right. Okay, you talking about the game 4 in the 09 NBA Finals where he set up Derek Fisher for that 3-pointer. To basically give the Lakers the lead against the Magic. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I noticed about Kobe as he got older, that he started to become a little bit more selfless. Now, he still had that killer instinct. That didn't go away. But, he could sit back and let the others get shine when they was rolling. Okay, prime example. 2010 in the finals in game 7 against the Celtics. Now, Kobe didn't really have it going that game, but he didn't try to force it. He saw, dudes like Pau Gasol, Meta World Peace, they were having great games. So in that game, he took a back seat and just let them, carry the Lakers home to that title. He didn't try, when he had his opportunities, he took them, but he didn't force anything. He was selfless and let, Pau Gasol and Meta World Peace have their moment to shine in that NBA Finals. Excuse me. I think I'm catching a cold, y'all. Being in different climates, because, man, when I was in Vegas, man, it was chilly as hell at night. when I was in Vegas. I mean, it was very nice and warm during the day, but at night it was chilly. It was like in the late 40s. That just messed me up right there. Although I had a great trip, I still, I wouldn't live out in Vegas. Now, to all my folks in Vegas, if y'all watch this live stream, I love y'all city. I love visiting, but I can't live out there. That's too much desert for me. you know. But I still love you, Vegas. I think I might be catching a cold. I might be feeling the repercussions of that being in different climates. Okay. Now, another one of my favorite moments was Kobe scoring 60 points against the Utah Jazz in his final game in 2016. Now the Lakers, they were down very big in that game. They were down by as many as a good almost 20 points. But once again, Kobe refused to let his team lose. Even though this was his final game, he gave everything he had. And I mean everything. He gave everything he had in that game. He was playing defense. He was getting steals, hitting all kinds of crazy shots. He basically said, hey, this is my last game. I'm definitely going to go out with a bang. And he did. He definitely went out with a hell of a bang, scoring those 60 points. But I loved his final speech after that game and how he just ended with Mamba out and just dropped the mic and just walked away and just walked off the court. Man, that was just some smooth stuff right there. That was some real smooth stuff right there. Now, Kobe was definitely on his way to having a hell of a career off the court as well. I mean, he got it. He became a venture capitalist. Just the year before last, he won his Oscar for his short film for Dear Basketball. But Kobe was definitely starting to be a little more socially conscious and outspoken, especially when it came to police brutality. He definitely gave a very candid take on police brutality, and also he definitely supported Colin Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick's protest, and he definitely said if he would have still been playing, he definitely would have supported players taking a knee during the national anthem. Now, as a lot of people know, Kobe wasn't really candid on those issues during his playing days. But, I guess he felt now since he's out of the game, he could definitely, be more candid and outspoken. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Yep, Intelligence Cycle 1LVZ did point that out on him supporting Colin Kaepernick. I remember that interview. I remember watching that interview where Kobe voiced his support for Colin Kaepernick. I think Kobe definitely started to see that, him starting to be older and mature and also being a father himself, that even though he has daughters, the police can still target his daughters just like they could target target his sons if he had any sons. I think he definitely knew that even though his kids were mixed race, he knew that his daughters would still be looked at as young black women in society. And he also knew, the police can be just as dirty with young black females, just like they are with young black males. And his two oldest girls one was already a teenager, and Gigi, the one who tragically passed, she was about to become a teenager herself. So he was definitely aware, and also he had that fear in the back of his head that maybe the police could definitely still target his two older daughters, despite his fame, wealth, and notoriety. Excuse me. And who knows? And also, another thing that one LBZ pointed out, that Kobe did donate money to Colin Kaepernick's charity. So that would have been it. So who knows? Maybe him and Colin Kaepernick could have gotten together and started some addressing police brutality. That would have been definitely interesting to see if those two would have gotten together and did something. Excuse me. All right, y'all. I'm seeing people coming into the live stream. I thank y'all for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, whatever comment, whatever you want to leave about Kobe, just leave it here in the chat. Whether it's your favorite game, or just him as a player, or just his impact on the game, or you just want to send condolences, you can do that here. Excuse me. But yeah, Kobe was definitely making some moves, doing the venture capitalist, doing his thing as a venture capitalist, also doing the movies. And I was just definitely anxious to see what Kobe was going to do next. Because, who knows? Maybe Kobe could have, who knows? Maybe Kobe might have put some money into some black businesses. Or maybe he might have had a career in film, rather be a producer, director, whatever. Because I definitely think, he was on his way to on his way to doing his thing in both of those fields. Excuse me. Y'all gotta excuse me for this. Y'all gotta excuse me for this coughing. Like I said, I think I'm feeling the repercussions of my trip in Vegas. And also, I gotta sit down and watch his short film Dear Basketball. Definitely gotta sit down and watch that. And also, another favorite moment. This is not unbasketball related. How many of y'all saw that players only show last year? What was it? Either last year or the year before last on NBA TV, where it was just him and Shaq, reminiscing about their time playing together, also talking about Shaq splitting from the Lakers, going to the Miami Heat. That was another one to see. That was another one of my favorite moments, to see him and Shaq together again. Also in that interview, you definitely found out a lot of stuff that we didn't know about at that time. Like how they really played up the rivalry when they were on opposite sides for the media. Okay, tell the cycle. You said his daughter Gianna. It was a video I sent on IG. She is similar game style and shot ability as her father. She could have been a star. Oh, well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I forget the reporter's name on ESPN while she was, recalling the time she spent with Kobe. He said, she said that he had definitely given his daughter props on her game and said that she was a lot better shooter than he was when he was her age. So yeah, definitely, man. Who knows? Who knows? She definitely could have shined as a star. She definitely could have been a star. Excuse me. But yeah, if y'all haven't seen that Kobe and Shaq players only episode for NBA TV, it's definitely on YouTube. Just look up on YouTube, even if it's just a few clips. That was just very good. Like I said, got a lot of insight into, their time together, what led to the hostility with each other, what led to the split, what led to Shaq being traded out of LA. And also, Kobe, and also in that episode, Kobe said that watching Shaq win that championship in Miami, in 2006, motivated him a hell of a lot more to one on his own. He said, he told Shaq, he said, since you won one, I gotta outdo you. So, and he definitely did that by, winning two back-to-back championships. But like I said, if y'all haven't checked out that Kobe and Shaq players only episode with those two just, talking to each other about everything that went down throughout their career, throughout their time together and their time apart, you gotta check that out. Because I always thought, man, I definitely have thought about this over the years. As a matter of fact, I want this answer in the chat for all those that's here. If Shaq and Kobe would have stayed together for at least about, they played from 96 all the way to 04. If they would have stayed together for at least another, say, 5 or 6 years, how many more championships do you think Shaq and Kobe would have won together if they would have stayed together for those extra amount of years? I want to know your comment. I want to know your answer in the chat. How many more championships do you think Shaq and Kobe could have won if they would have stayed together for at least another 5 or 6 years in LA? Excuse me. Okay, Tough Disciple said, you said my reaction to Ashton Kutcher's stepdaddy, Ari Shafir, AD less comedian. Whoa, okay. I know what you try to say. Comedian, he showed his true colors. Players only was a touching moment to see them back on the same page. Yeah, it was. Like I said, you also got a lot of insight, with what really happened, what really happened between them and what led to them basically falling apart. Okay, tell this cycle, you said, I believe they would have won 4 more rings. I say they would have won 3 more rings. Because about around, come on. You could definitely see it in that Miami Heat series in the 2006 NBA Finals. That Dallas Mavericks series in that 2006 NBA Finals. you can tell that Shaq was starting to decline. So that's why I say 3 more rings, because Shaq. I mean, Shaq. Now, don't get me wrong. Shaq still had a pretty good. He still had a very nice series, but you could tell in that NBA Finals against the Mavericks, Shaq was starting to decline. He was a step slow. He was starting to be a step slower. So yeah, I think Shaq and Kobe would have won at least 3 more championships together. And it seemed like, that was one of the best duos that didn't reach their full potential for some reason. I always felt that about Shaq and Kobe. They were one of the best duos not to reach their full potential. Because I mean, even though, okay, cats like Rick Fox left, as he was starting to decline, they still could have found a way to put a very nice, solid core around Shaq and Kobe. Because, I mean, they definitely would have gotten some free agents, because everybody would have wanted to play with them, play under Phil Jackson, play in LA. Excuse me. But man, if they would have just stayed together, they definitely would have won at least 3 more championships together. I really believe that. And like I said, they did not reach their full potential as a duo. Even though they won championships, without each other, I still think to this day, Shaq and Kobe were better together than apart. If y'all agree or disagree with that, just leave it here in the chat. Excuse me. I've always thought that Shaq and Kobe were better together than apart. As matter of fact, it's like this Fresh Prince episode where Carlton started becoming the manager of the college store, and his attitude started running off customers and started to turn Will off. So Will ends up quitting the Peacock and starts working at a restaurant where he starts becoming the man and employee of the week and all that. And Carlton tells Will that, okay, tells him that, okay, separately, we, basically saying, when we're apart, we stink, but when we're together, we smell like success. And, well, I'm not saying Shaq and Kobe stink separately, but together, they definitely, definitely had the smell of success and winning. Like I said, it seemed like, to me, they were better together than apart. Can't tell this cycle. All right. Thanks for joining me here in this live stream. You said RIP to Kobe and Gianna. My condolences to Vanessa and the whole Bryant family. That's what's up. But thanks for joining me, Intelligent Cycle. I'm about to get off here in a few minutes myself. Now, Kobe, to me, matter of fact, that whole night, that any draft from, well, Kobe was one of the last, excuse me. I almost lost my train of thought for a second. Excuse me. Now, as we all know, Kobe was drafted in 96. So he was drafted in the pre-social media era. I always wondered if, if Kobe would have gotten drafted about a good, say, 9 or 10 years later. just when social media, just when social media was really starting to become prominent. Man, if Kobe would have been drafted that much later, he would have had a lot more scrutiny. Matter of fact, he would have gone through the same scrutiny that LeBron goes through now. Because LeBron, even though he was drafted in 2003, you know, he was drafted just when social media was starting to take off. When technology was starting to become a lot more prevalent and accessible. And I think Kobe would have gotten that same or similar type of scrutiny that LeBron gets now. We forget that, by the time social media came around, Kobe was basically late into the prime of his career. Excuse me. But if he would have been drafted just a little bit later, then it would have been a whole different outlook. It would have been a whole different outlook for Kobe. Because, like I said, every move would have been totally scrutinized to the 10th power. A lot of people will be saying a lot of negative things about Kobe if he would have been drafted, say, 9 or 10 or even 11 years later. But definitely gonna miss Kobe. Hearing all because I was looking forward to hearing all the insight that all his insight during his career. Telling us about some of the things that we weren't privy to back then. When he was playing. Also, it's unfortunate as y'all a lot of y'all do know, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame this year. Well, inducted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame this year. I always was looking forward to seeing his induction speech, but sadly, we're not gonna see him up at that podium. Make that speech and accept that award. That's gonna be up to his wife Vanessa and his family. It just seemed like the world was robbed of a legend Sunday. And also not just him, but his daughter as well as the 7 other people. Because also his daughter's friend and teammate was killed in that crash. So that's some young bright futures that were cut very short. Who knows what they could have done in this world, all the things they could have accomplished in this world, to change this world and make this world a better place. It just seems like, it's just, man, I always hate when a young life is lost because it's like they're just silent. It's like they're gone too soon. Their voices are silent too soon. And I definitely feel that with, Kobe, his daughter, as well as her friend. All young voices silenced too soon. And also, parent also her parent was also perished in that plane crash. That parent, they're not going to see if they had other children, they're not going to be around to raise their children, to raise their other children, to watch them grow up. They're not going to be able to watch them go to prom, high school graduations, weddings, none of that. It's just, man, this whole thing is just tragic and just lives going too soon and definitely, not getting a chance to, maybe set out to do all the things that they want to do in this world. But You know, God has his plan for everyone. You know, we all may love somebody. We all love everyone, but God loves them the most. So I'm about to get out of here, y'all. On that note, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Thanks for joining me. You know, I thank all y'all coming in for viewing this live stream. Also, leave your comments here in the chat. You know, and also I got this saying: you gotta live life to the fullest for the fullest. You know, you gotta enjoy. You just gotta come. You definitely gotta just live life and enjoy life. Just take it one day at a time. Live, you know, live every day. Appreciate life. You know, and everything around it, no matter what you're going through or what's your circumstances, because there's always somebody who has it worse than you. You know, you know, just like I said, just like, well, now the old saying goes, live every day as your last. Me, I like to live every day as if it was my first day here on earth. That's how I like to live. I live every day like it's my first. And also, maybe, also, you know, maybe y'all can apply, subscribe to that as well. But anyways, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Once again, thanks for joining me. You know, also, and another thing I gotta say before I get off here, whatever issues you got with your family, work them out. Okay, work them out, because as y'all know, Kobe was going through issues with his family. Now he was definitely starting to patch things up with his father before he passed, so that's a good thing to hear, that Kobe was trying to mend fences with his family before he left this earth. But there's not but for all of y'all that got your family issues out here, try to sit down, talk it out, and work it out with your family. There's nothing that you can't get through, because now, Kobe, well, Vanessa, Kobe's parents and her parents, the only thing they got is each other now, because they've lost a son, a son-in-law, a brother, excuse me, and also they lost a grandchild. So whatever family issues you have, sit down, talk it out, and work it out, because life is too short. And also, there's nothing you can't get through. There's nothing you can't get through. As long as you love each other and your bond is strong with your family, y'all can get through anything. So I advise y'all, if you got your family issues, talk it out, set that to a side, and be there for each other, because you just never know who you might need, or who your nieces or nephews might need. So once again, I thank y'all for joining me. Leaving your comments here in the chat, tuning into this live stream. All right. So I send my prayers and condolences to to the Bryant family. Also, I send my prayers and condolences to the families of the other victims who tragically perished in the helicopter crash Sunday. I can definitely imagine what they're all going through. So, about to get out of here, y'all, because I got to do some things. But once again, thank y'all for joining me. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out. To Kobe Bean Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and to all the other victims, may y'all rest in peace. I'm out.